The way you want to live your life is mastered by doing stuff.
Oh boy. So there's a point to all this. As I slowly stand up and also just as slowly start to squat down. Uh-oh, I have to stop. Right here. What if I have to put one knee down or the other? And I did that on purpose to show off that I can do it off of one leg. But what if you can't? What if this is where you start and you're slowly getting down? What if you can't get down all the way here? That's fine. It's called progression. You might start standing up and then slowly start to move into a position where you can find your lowest. From there, you go back up. Just like those so-called girl push-ups that people do with the knees on the floor, I don't recommend. Start here, bend as much as you can, and then from there push all the way up. Go down as low as you can until it gets to the point where you feel like you can't go anymore or you're gonna fall on your face, and push up from there. Eventually, you'll be able to get all the way down. But it takes time, progression. Everything starting off progressively. One of the things that I learned a long time ago that kind of threw me off a little bit was how in the fitness industry people would say that this position is wrong. But I've been doing it for years because of capoeira. In the esquiva movement, when we escape, we're continually doing this. Look at that. So the fact that I was doing this all the time and never injured my knee at all showed me that there was something off about that advice. But I didn't just all of a sudden jump into it. And that's the problem. And that's how a lot of people get hurt, is they try to do something extreme really quickly. Like for example, if you've never just all of a sudden just gone down and picked up something like this, you don't do it. You progressively go into it. So you're standing, you start to check, make sure you feel stable, and then if that's all you're gonna go, that's where you stop, and you move back up from there. You can do reps just like you were exercising. You get into the lowest position you can, just like with those push-ups, right? You go as low as you can, and you push from there. Eventually you'll be able to go lower and lower. Same thing with squatting and lunging. You go as low as you can, push from there. Eventually, after a while, you'll be able to get in that position, feet flat or heels up. But it's all about progressive movement, and that's the key. And the crazy thing is though, the one thing that people don't want to hear is that you have to do lots of it. I talked about earlier about in another video or one of my other podcasts somewhere about how sometimes when I'm pumping gas, I do the capoeira jinga. And I do it sometimes going into lunges. And sometimes I do twists. And sometimes I lift my knee. And all kinds of different things like that, right? The thing is that you can do all of that stuff, but it has to be progressive. All of those things you can do, but you have to work into it. You can't just jump into something all of a sudden. And it might seem like common sense, but common sense is not so common. So it's progressive. So for example, if you get yourself seated down, right? you're sitting in a chair or something like that, and you want to be able to pop up like that, if before you're using your hands to get up, then you do that. And then after a while, you use less and less pressure until eventually the pressure with your arms until eventually you can stand up. And that's where a lot of that comes from. Now, that was a little bit circumvented in some ways, but the key takeaway is progressive. It's all about progression and gradients and doing things little by little, over and over again, consistently, persistently, with discipline and dedication.